Assalamu alaikum students. How are you doing? Hope you are doing good. So in the last class of English text, we completed the poem, The Neem Tree, and today we are going to start the new chapter, chapter number 4, that is Moen. And this chapter is about an old city, an old civilization. So let's see the key points and let's read that what does the chapter describe. So the key points of the chapter are Moen is one of the oldest cities of the world. It is one of the oldest civilizations of the world. And this city was discovered by Sir John Marshall. Sir John Marshall was an English civil servant. And then the chapter describes about a well-planned city which came before the world after digging. And it further describes about the life of the people who lived there. And the things which have been found during digging, these things are ancient things, old things, so they are known as antiques, and they have been kept in a museum on exhibition. So after that, the chapter describes about the destruction of the city, and it further tells us that an undeciphered language is written on the pots and other objects which have been found from the city. And at the end, it tells us that it has become a historical place and a lot of people visit this place. Now come to the chapter, so we could read it. So girls, let's read the chapter. You also start reading the chapter with me. So the chapter title is Moen. Moen, or the Mound of the Dead, is one of the oldest cities in the world. It is at a distance of 27 kilometers from Larkana on the right bank of the river Indus. Few people live there today, but 4,500 years ago, it was a large, busy city. Nobody knew anything about it until 1922, when some villagers found pieces of old smooth pots and old bricks at the place where now stands the uncovered city. So, the name of the city is Moen, or the Mound of the Dead. So, what does this name mean, or what does this name indicate? This name indicates a ruined or a deserted place. But there was a time when people would live there, and this is one of the oldest cities of the world. But now the place is deserted or destroyed. And this city was situated near the river Indus, near the right bank of the river Indus. And now the nearest city from the place is Larkana, and this old ruined city was discovered in 1922. So let's read further. These pieces of old pots and bricks were brought to Sir John Marshall, an English civil servant whose work was to look after historical remains like ancient buildings and other old things such as these pieces of pots and bricks. He was himself very interested in history and was anxious to find out about these remains. So when he looked at them carefully, he at once knew that they were pieces of very old pots. About the bricks, he said, perhaps there was once a town or a city which lies under these mounds of clay and sand. Let us dig here. Maybe we shall uncover the remains of an old city. So the villagers brought these pieces of old pots and bricks to Sir John Marshall. That was the time of 1922. 1922, it means that British was ruling over the country. So, and Sir John Marshall was an English civil servant, and his work was to look after historical remains. And a person who looks after historical remains is known as an archaeologist. So Sir John Marshall was an archaeologist. So he himself was very interested in history and a competent archaeologist, so he at once understood that those pieces of pots and bricks were very old, ancient, and as old bricks were also found from there, bricks are the building blocks. So he thought that there may be some old city which was buried under the mound. So he thought to dig there. So the man started digging, and as they dug, more and more such pieces came up, till there appeared bit by bit a city of straight roads and well-built houses. You can imagine how surprised and excited the people were when they saw all this coming up from what they had so far taken to be only mounds of clay and sand. Each house was made of large baked bricks and had a bathroom and servant quarters close by. Covered drains ran beside the streets. Even the streets were made of baked bricks. Carts and other forms of transport could come right to the city, could come right to the center of the town. You can still see the great hall where grain was stored. There is a wide road in the middle of which was the shopping center with shops on both sides. This road continues on to the houses of the workmen. So people started digging there, people dug there and found more and more pieces of pots and bricks. And at last there appeared a city where there was the remains of straight roads and well-constructed houses. So imagine, it must have been very exciting for the people who were digging there and who lived nearby and thought that place just a heap of clay and sand, just a mound of clay and sand. In that uncovered city, the houses were built up with large baked bricks, and they had proper bathrooms and servant quarters too. So, and you can see that there was a proper arrangement of sewage water, proper arrangement of sewage was there. Drains means sewage pipes. So a proper sewage system was there, and streets and roads were well constructed. And the transportation of the city was also very good, as the roads were very good. And we can see that a great hall was there in the center of the town, or that great hall was used as a go-down where grain was stored. And traces of shopping centers have also been found there. The people of the city must have been great traders, with the river Indus so near and the sea within easy reach. The countryside must have been fertile, since wheat, rice and cotton grew there. The farmers also kept cattle. There were skilled craftsmen who worked in gold, silver and ivory. Clay doll and carts were made for the children to play with. We also have an idea of the dresses worn by the ruling class, the priests and the elders, from the seals of many kinds that have been found there. they wore long, loose dresses. So, by the traces and remainings of the city, it has been estimated that the people of the city were traders, businessmen, and farmers. How this could be estimated? This could be estimated as the river Indus was near and it was easy for them to reach the sea, to reach the Arabian Sea. So they could travel easily. And furthermore, as the river Indus was near, so the fields, the land must be very fertile, so they could be farmers too. And also different articles, different handicrafts were also found from there. So it could also be possible that they were the craftsmen, they were the worksmen who could work with their hands. So from the seals and stamps which have been found from there, it came to know that the people used to wear long, loose dresses. And dress code of different classes also came to know that the ruling class, what ruling class used to wear and what religious scholars would wear, etc., etc. So come to the next paragraph. Nearby is a museum where interesting objects found from Mohenjo-daro are on exhibition. These include seals, jewelry, toys, weapons, and painted pottery. The best find of Mohenjo-daro is the head of a bull which was used as a seal. A metal statue of a dancing girl has also been found. There are metal tools too. It is because of these metal objects that the probable age of the city is being given as about 4,500 years ago. So as a lot of old things are antiques. So a lot of antiques have been found. A museum has been constructed there where all the found articles and antiques are on display, are on exhibition. And the prominent things which have been found from there are a head of a bull, and which was used as a seal, and a metallic statue of a dancing girl, and other metallic objects. And actually this is because of these metallic objects that the possible age of the city has been given. And other objects which have been found from there are the jewelry, toys, weapons, and painted pottery. Pottery is actually crockery, but this pottery was made up of clay. So come to the next paragraph. For a long time, these people lived a happy life. They were quite rich and traveled from place to place on business or on pleasure. Their city was well planned and clean. The rainwater did not remain on the streets. We do not know what happened to them later. Either they were raided from the north or some great earthquake destroyed them. No one has yet been able to determine the meaning of the words written on the seals and on the pottery. Much could be learned if the language experts are able to decipher these words. So, it is predicted, it is estimated that people of that place were living a good life. They were prosperous, they traveled for business and also for enjoyment. It has not been known yet clearly that what destroyed them. Either they were attacked or some calamity like earthquake destroyed them. And also nobody has read yet the language written on the seals and on the pottery found from there. So if this language is deciphered, if somebody translated this language or somebody decoded this language, so this could be very easy to know about the city. Decipher mean to read or to translate or to interpret. So a lot of new things can be known about the people of that city or about the city too, if this language, if these words could be deciphered. Learned men and visitors often come to the site. They come not only from Pakistan but also from all over the world. Let us hope that their efforts succeed in deciphering these words. We will then know a great deal more than we do now about this dead civilization. So a lot of local and foreign visitors visit the place. And many scholars and other educated people also come to know about the place and to read the language. So if the language is interpreted once, a great deal of information about this that civilization will be highlighted. We could know a lot about this old city if this language, if these words could be interpreted. So now come to the board so we could read the new words. So let's read the new words of the chapter. The first word in the list is site. Site is noun and it means place or area. Urdu meaning is jaga, maqam. The next word in the list is appeared. Appeared is the verb and it means emerged. Urdu meaning is zahir hua, namudar hua. The other word in the list is imagine. Imagine is a verb and it means visualize or suppose, tasavvur karna, khayal karna. The next word is excited. Excited is an adjective. It means thrilled, enthusiastic, बहुत पुरजोश. The other word in the list is fertile. Fertile is also an adjective and it means rich, productive, fruitful, and Urdu meaning is zarkhiz. The next word is jewelry. Jewelry is noun and it means ornament. Ornaments are decorative objects and Urdu meaning is zevar. The other word is pottery. Pottery is noun and it means crockery, and as I have told you in the lecture that this crockery is clay made. Bartan or matti ke bartan. The next word is weapons. Weapons is noun. It means arms and arms are arms meaning, Urdu meaning is hatiyar. Next word is metal. Metal is a noun and a metal is a solid and hard shiny material such as iron, nickel, aluminium, etc. And Urdu meaning is dhat. The other word in the list is organize. Organize is a verb and it means to arrange systematically. Munazzim hona. The other word is earthquake. Earthquake is a noun and it means tremor, zalzala. The next word is ancient. Ancient is an adjective and it means olden, former. Urdu meaning is qadim. The other word in the list is ivory. Ivory is a noun and it means tusk of an animal. A tusk of an animal is actually a long pointed nose such as an elephant has or a walrus has, and this long pointed this long pointed tooth is used for decorative purposes. And Urdu meaning is hati dant. I am repeating the meaning. Tusk is a long pointed tooth. Maybe by mistake I have told you long pointed nose, but that is not a long pointed nose, that is long pointed tooth. The next word is priest. Priest is a noun and it means churchman or a religious scholar. Urdu meaning is mazhabi peshwa. The other word is raided. Raided is war and it's second and third form of raid and it means attacked, assaulted. Urdu meaning is hamla hua. The last word in the list is decipher. Decipher is a verb and it means to decode or to interpret or to solve or to translate, etc. And Urdu meaning is samajhna, hal karna. So this is all about today's lecture. Inshallah, tomorrow inshallah in the next clip we will do the exercises of RTC. Till then, take care.